In a zoo, a guy was standing in front of an elephant cage. Masato wanted to see the elephant, whose name is Hanyo, closely, but the guard refused to let him enter the cage because it could be dangerous. Masato said that he is Hanyo's friend and came here for a reunion, but the guard called it nonsense and refused to let him enter. At that moment, another zookeeper arrived there who was really friendly with Masato. He opened the cage and let Masato enter. Surprisingly, the elephant didn't attack Masato and let him pet it. The zookeeper was really shocked seeing an animal this friendly. So, the other guy explained that Masato befriended Hanyo in kindergarten. After a while, Masato left the cage and went to see other animals with his friend, the zookeeper. While walking, they talked to each other about their past, like how Masato had to move to a different place because of his parents' work, and now after 7 years, he has come back. The zookeeper also remembered that when Masato was a kid, he had always been oddly surrounded by animals. Next, the zookeeper apologized to Masato because this zoo is now a lot different. He explained that right after Masato moved away, they changed the zoo director. The new director made a few changes to the policy, and it seems like the customers are pleased with that, but because of those changes, the animals are always under surveillance all day and night. At that moment, Masato noticed a wound on the zookeeper's hand and asked if Hanyo caused this. The zookeeper was about to tell him that this wound was caused by another one when an announcement started playing through the speakers. Zoo director, Nobuta, first welcomed everyone to Fuji Safari Park. Nobuta assumes that his animal friends are also doing well and said that in order to bring their customers an extraordinary experience, here in Fuji Safari World, they are doing as best as they can to keep the animals in the best shape at all times. Nobuta also talked about the fangs of the lion named Leo and also mentioned some other animals. After hearing the announcement, Masato and zookeeper Nakata weren't happy because the animals aren't really in the best shape. Then, Masato told Nakata that he's going to bring his childhood friend named Hitomi to this zoo tomorrow. Before Nakata said anything, he received a call from the director and had to go. Nakata left, advising Masato to not bring Hitomi tomorrow because Sundays are rather busy. When he left, Masato noticed a crowd gathering at a zoo area. He went to the place and saw a giraffe getting transferred in front of many people. He also noticed a parrot and saw the workers, who were looking kind of gloomy. On the other hand, Nakata got scolded by the director because he let someone enter the cage. After getting scolded, when he went to see Hanyo, she tried to console him. The next day, Masato met Hitomi in front of Fuji Station. Hitomi saw him and said that he has grown real big. Masato also said the same thing, but not to her height or age, but to those bouncy things. While walking, they talked with each other about the old days and slowly went toward the zoo. When they reached the entry place, there was no one to check tickets or to stop them. So Masato just jumped the pole and went to the other side. Hitomi was worried at first, thinking if it's really okay to do this, but in the end, she also entered. Surprisingly, there was no one inside the zoo. Not even a single person or animal inside the cages. They walked around wondering why there's no one here. Hitomi was getting worried as she asked Masato that they should leave and wait for someone to come and open the zoo. When they were about to leave with a sad face, they heard a loud shout. In front of them, there was a guy running toward them while panting really hard. Immediately after that man asked for help, some animals jumped at him and started eating him alive. Hitomi was shocked to see that and was about to run toward the man to help, but Masato stopped her. He called her a dumb girl and told her that there's no way for a human to win against a wild beast. Masato asked her to run with him, but for some reason, she froze in place. When Masato looked at her face, he saw that she was really scared. She just said one word, the face. Masato didn't waste a moment and started running with Hitomi. He thought that she was talking about how those animals are gnawing on the man's face. So he told her that they don't have the time to stand there and watch. While they were leaving, an oversized cat that was eating the man revealed an evil smirk. Masato and Hitomi ran at full speed while calling Nakata's name. After some running, they reached the cage where Hanyo is locked. When he looked inside the cage, he saw Nakata on the ground. But Nakata isn't the only one inside the cage, the director is also in it. He ran toward Masato and asked him to open the cage. Without wasting a moment, Masato opened the door. But when the door opened, instead of leaving, the director just smiled while being taken away by an elephant. Masato started shouting, asking Hanyo to stop. Suddenly, he heard Nakata's voice asking for help. Seeing Nakata injured on the ground, Masato got really angry and asked Hanyo what she's doing. But when he looked at Hanyo's face, he wasn't able to say a thing. In front of him was a horrifying sight. For some reason, this elephant's face had turned into a human one. Not just that, she also called Masato's name. Hanyo was holding that director's head in her trunk. She threw that away and tried to break free from the cage while saying to Masato, "I'm coming." Immediately, Masato started calling Hitomi, suggesting that they should run away now. But Hitomi was so scared that she wasn't even able to move. So, Masato gave her a slap on the face to bring her back to her senses. After coming back, she pointed at Nakata who was barely alive. To save him, They made a plan in which Misato will distract Hanyo while Hitomi will rescue Nakata from the cage. At that moment, Hanyo broke the bars and started chasing Misato while calling his name. Behind him, Hitomi acted quickly and rescued Nakata from the cage. Outside, Misato ran as fast as he could, and after some running he suddenly changed his direction toward the cage where Hitomi and Nakata are. While turning, Misato was about to get squashed by Hanyo, but Hanyo didn't squash him. Instead, she crushed another staff member right behind him. Seeing that, he ran back to the cage at full speed and entered it. Hanyo came behind him at full speed and crashed into the cage's bars. Taking the chance, they loaded Nakata in the cart and started running away. After some running, Misato heard a human voice. He looked on the other side of the bushes and saw a person who was running toward the exit at full speed, just like Misato. Misato was happy, thinking he'd be able to meet another human. But when they crossed the bushes and saw the person, they were terrified to see that the one who was running right beside them wasn't a human, but a giraffe with a human face. And that giraffe also had a human hand in its mouth. Misato and Hitomi didn't stop after seeing the giraffe, they kept running. But at that moment, many different animals with human faces started chasing them. Right then, Hitomi pointed at the shutter door and told Misato that it's slowly closing. Still, Misato didn't even think of stopping. He just thought about when his favorite place had turned into a hell like this. As they got closer to the exit, Hitomi was getting more worried because the gate had already closed. So to go out, they had to find a different way. At that moment, they spotted an elephant tunnel. Without thinking, they headed toward it at full speed. They sat inside the cart and slid on top of the tunnel. Like that, they were sent flying outside the zoo. They landed outside completely fine, while all the animals were stuck inside the zoo. Right then, one of the animals said something, "Hey, Hajimaru." They started walking on the road and surprisingly, there was no one on the road. Misato asked Hitomi to call the hospital because they had to make Nakata regain consciousness. Immediately after he said that, Nakata woke up and asked about his location. Seeing him waking up, Misato got really angry and threw him on the road. He asked Nakata about those strange animals and asked him what happened in the zoo. Before he could answer, Hitomi stopped Misato and told him that Nakata was unconscious just a moment ago, so they should first find a place to rest. Misato agreed immediately and invited them to his place. While they were walking, Nakata asked Misato how he got here because this morning he was going to be killed in Hanyo's cage. Misato didn't answer and asked him to rest first. When they reached the place, they saw a little puppy. Misato told them that his landlord keeps this puppy as a pet. They slowly went toward the puppy, wondering if it also has a human face or not. Nakata reached the puppy first, and when he was about to pick it up, Misato shouted from behind, asking him to stop. But Nakata still picked it up, and it didn't have a human face. Hitomi got really happy and immediately hugged the puppy. They all petted the puppy one by one, and after a while, they let it go. Nakata decided to give it one last pet before entering the place. But when he was about to do that, a goat with a human face entered the scene. It said 2 words, "Noisy bunch." The goat pounced forward and bit the puppy. Taking the chance, Misato grabbed Nakata and entered the house. After entering the house, Nakata asked if that wasn't a hallucination. He revealed that he also saw those things last winter in the zoo. Hearing that, Misato realized that Nakata knew something and asked him to tell them. So, Nakata started explaining. He said that he first realized something was odd when they got a new director in the zoo. Right after the change, the new director made it a duty to have a health checkup every month. It was just yesterday for this month. For both animals and employees simultaneously, it's called a friendly health checkup. Other than blood tests, there's also a vaccination, exactly the same every time. However, after that day of every month, there'd definitely be a few animals acting strange in their cage. The amount of visitors also increased. Then one day, Nakata saw it. The appearance of the weasel that should be transported to a vet hospital soon. It had something like a face. Hearing the story, Misato realized that if all the animals had the health checkup, that means Hanyo also. Realizing that, Nakata was really angry and started cursing that director. At that moment, Hitomi looked outside and told them that the goat was gone. They immediately went outside and saw that the poor little puppy was really injured. Right now, they couldn't do anything about the puppy, so they just buried it under some leaves and left the place to see the police. But when they left, a crying voice came out from under the leaves. Under the leaves, the little puppy was alive, and now also had a human face. In a random house, a girl woke up to eat her meal. When she looked at the food, she demanded from her mom to cook something else. But instead of seeing her whole mom, she just saw her mom's head getting eaten by an animal. Meanwhile, Misato and his gang are trying to call the police, but no one picked up the phone. While Nakata was walking in front, Hitomi told Misato that Nakata's face mark looked similar to the one that they saw on Hanyo's face. Hearing that, Misato asked about the bandage on Nakata's arm. Nakata took out the bandage and revealed that he got injected several times during the usual friendly health checkup. He said that they do it every time, but it really sucks. Before Misato said anything, Nakata answered that they're being used. He told them that he wanted to talk to the director for a long time. But when he started doubting or raising opinions about the experiment, he, who was a chief, was demoted to only taking care of Hanayo. But he's not the only one. The old staff also quit after some mysterious personnel change. The new staff look as if they don't care about the animals. And finally, yesterday, the manager demoted Nakata to just a cleaner. Nakata was so angry that he wanted to kill the director. Next, Misato asked about what happened to the new staff. Nakata answered that they were killed. Moreover, the ones who did that are... He stopped midway because he realized something. He saw with a serious face, they reap what they sow. Animals killed all the workers for their revenge towards the human race. Hearing that, Misato remembered the time he spent with Hanayo, and the time he had to leave her because of his parents. Earlier, when Hanayo was chasing Misato, he thought that she was going to crush him, but instead, she missed on purpose and stomped on the head of one of the workers. After walking for a while, they reached the police station, but it was completely destroyed. While they were talking about what to do, Misato saw someone near the broken window. Right then, Misato decided to enter the building alone. He ran inside after asking Nakata and Hitomi to hide somewhere. When he entered the building, he looked around the rooms and found a police officer. Seeing him, the policeman told him about a human-faced deer that destroyed everything. The policeman said that his legs are trembling and asked Misato to help him go out. But before they even took a step, the deer arrived there. They both thought at the same time that this is bad. Surprisingly, the deer didn't attack them, but started eating papers. Seeing that, Misato thought that its character as a normal deer didn't change even after gaining a human face. Aside, deer are essentially animals that don't have a strong sense of territory. While Misato was thinking that, the policeman pointed the gun at the deer. And before Misato could stop him, he shot the bullet at it. But the deer was so fast that it dodged the bullet and ran to attack the policeman. Outside, when Hitomi heard the gunshot, she decided to enter the building to see what was going on, but Nakata stopped her. He said that if they got caught by an animal, they'll be in big trouble, so they can only believe in Misato. Inside the building, Misato's stomach got pierced by one of the deer's horns. Subscribe for the next part.